Hey everyone, so in today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I am going to be starting out a new journey, basically getting some acne scar removal done. Wanting to do this for quite some time, but unfortunately I never really did too much research on it, and I really wasn't sure if it was something afford or something that I really truly wanted to do. Now that I've gone ahead and done quite a bit of research, I've also had a consultation with a dermatologist and going over all the different things I need to know and what basically treatments would work best for me. I am excited to finally get started on this journey, so I figured I would take you guys along in case you are interested in doing something like this, or if you just want to basically see my results and hear my experience and see if maybe this is something you might want to do eventually. Now, I obviously wanted to document this for personal reasons as well, because I've never done anything like this. I figured, this would be a really great opportunity just to see how the whole entire process was and basically give my feedback. So I actually have come up with a routine that finally works well for me when it comes to acne and acne scars. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, definitely stay tuned for that video, because I do want to do a separate video just showing you my current routine is, because basically my skin was looking like this in the last few months or earlier months in the year, and I've finally been able to get my skin to look like this. You still get acne, more so whenever it's like my period or if I'm really stressed, but because some of the scars that I have are definitely scars that I won't be able to treat on my own, I definitely do need professional help. Now the thing is, whenever you're doing any type of acne treatment or acne scar removal, you don't necessarily know how it's going to work for you. So that's why I figured, whether it works or not, I definitely want to document my whole entire journey. Now the thing is, it's not necessarily the cheapest procedure, and depending on where you're living or where you go, it might end up being less or more. So if you guys are interested in hearing everything and seeing my whole entire experience, definitely keep on watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Hey everyone, so this is not how I wanted to film the video, but didn't really have much options. So basically I have my first appointment in the next, I want to say like 20-ish minutes, 30-ish minutes. I'm a little early, but which I'm a little nervous because I don't know how it's gonna feel, and they said like it shouldn't be a long procedure, but the max amount of time that I might be there is basically 2 hours. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I'm hoping that my skin isn't going to be super red. We'll see how things go. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, but at the same time I'm hoping I can handle it. I don't know how it's going to feel if she goes on my forehead. I feel like my forehead would be more sensitive, and like this area in here, I feel like where it's thicker skin or thicker areas, it should be okay, but we will see. Not entirely sure if I'll be able to film. I'm hoping I might be able to film a little bit while I'm inside there. If not, then I'll just explain my experience once I get back. But like I said, this is what my face looks like right now. I got a pimple here and a pimple here, so those are the darkest scars. So far my scars are pretty minimal, not too bad. I just got home from my appointment. My face is a little red, not extremely red, it's honestly not that bad. Now my face feels like a little like tight and a little sensitive, but at the same time it feels okay. I don't know if my face was bleeding or anything because I wasn't filming. I'm hoping maybe the next time around I can, but yeah, my face feels great. Not too bad. Now the areas that I did feel the needles more is basically where I have bigger scars. So I have a scar right here, which is actually a chickenpox scar. My face does feel like slightly irritated. Some areas more than others. I don't know if that feeling's gonna go down by tomorrow. So I'm actually refilming this video because when I was first filming it, I guess I was moving a lot, so the audio wasn't the greatest. But basically, my experience at the clinic was amazing. The people were honestly really, really, really sweet. It exceeded my expectations. They were wondering if I needed the temperature in the room adjusted. They offered me a blanket, they offered me water, they gave me a really nice massage. Like honestly, I was not expecting to enjoy the procedure as much as I did, or just my whole experience. It was just really nice. So I'm definitely excited to go back and see how my second appointment will be. And I actually do have that scheduled for sometime in January. It was pretty much booked up. So not until like the ending of January is when I'll have my second appointment. I'm doing a total of, I think, 5 or 6. I think it's 5, but if I don't need to do all 5, then I don't have to, but I actually do enjoy it, so I'm excited to go back. Honestly, barely felt the needles going into my skin. I was worried about my forehead, couldn't feel a thing. The first thing she's like, how are you feeling? Like, are you okay or anything? And I'm like, I honestly can't even feel this, so continue doing what you're doing. I'm excited to see what happens with my next appointment, but yeah, that's how my overall experience was for the first time around. Hey everyone, sorry for the really awkward, weird angle, but I literally just woke up, so excuse if I look a little tired still. But today is actually going to be my second appointment doing my microneedling, so I'm super excited about it because the first appointment went really well, and I'm really hopeful for this one. The only difference is I am on my period this time, so I do have a few little pimples, nothing major. And yeah, so I'm definitely excited, but at the same time there's only one thing I'm a little concerned about, because the last time my skin felt a little irritated like a few hours later after my appointment, but I'm hoping that my skin won't be as sensitive. Maybe I'll get used to it, but that's the only thing that I'm like not really looking forward to, because like there's not much you can do to like soothe it. I mean, besides moisturizing your face, that kind of helps, but for the most part it still feels sensitive. I am back home from my appointment, and as you guys can see, my face is a little red and shiny. Today we used a bigger needle, so it went down a little deeper, so it definitely was I don't want to say it was painful, but I can feel it more, and certain areas are definitely a lot more sensitive. My face feels extremely tight and a little dry, even though it's not dry. So yeah, I feel like, you know, I can handle the feeling of it, but I know once we go further into my treatments, I will be using a different needle, so it might be a little more painful. This is basically the next day, and as you guys can see, my face still looks slightly red. It's kind of textured where it's like kind of bumpy looking. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys can definitely see my face doesn't look like how it normally would look. I really don't know how to explain it. The skin is kind of like raised. It still feels like super tight. So this is actually the 3rd day, and I'm now realizing I definitely have lots of little scabs on my face. So I guess my face was bleeding on Monday during my appointment. I guess since it went deeper down into the skin, so especially in this area, I can see lines. So right now I am numbing. Unfortunately, I do have a breakout going on right over here, so kind of sucks. Bad timing, but because of my period. Probably look extremely red, and I am obviously out. I had my appointment several hours ago, but I had to come out. Fortunately, wearing a mask isn't really ideal because it's making my face very irritated and hot. I'm supposed to be going to a few stores and whatnot, but I can't really go inside. Well, I mean, I can, but it just doesn't feel comfortable wearing a mask on. I feel like my face is extremely sensitive this time around compared to last time. I don't know why. I mean, I understand maybe the needles are a little sharper or deeper or whatever the case is, but yeah, like even though I had more numbing, my face just feels so irritated. So I'm really happy that I'm not working tomorrow, because there's no way I would have been able to go in to work. So I'm happy that I have tomorrow and Sunday off. I'm supposed to be working Monday. Hopefully by then my face should be okay. If anything, it might be a little scabby, but yeah, my face is super red. It looks extremely red on camera or in the sun, or maybe it actually is, I don't know. Oof. I felt it the most on my forehead, which I felt like, I was like, oof. I wanted to, like, you know, say something. I don't know, I was okay. Like, I have a high pain tolerance, and even she's like, wow, like, you're doing amazing. Like, I'm always squirmish even when I do it. But yeah, this time around, definitely feeling super sensitive on my forehead. She didn't actually, this was a different technician that I had this time, so she didn't actually go as close to my eyes as the other lady does. You can see a huge difference. Hey everyone, so I'm just going to basically be going over my full experience with the microneedling. So the first thing I want to mention is I actually didn't complete my full entire treatment. I was originally supposed to be doing, I think it was like 4 treatments, and then you basically get like a bonus 5th one. Instead of paying for like each individual, I was supposed to be getting some package deal, but I actually didn't end up getting the package deal, because after when I calculated everything, and when one of my specialists looked at my full entire treatment plan, she realized like, yeah, no, you're actually just paying individually, which ended up being a little more expensive if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know where the miscommunication went, but basically I was supposed to be doing one thing, but I was getting charged for something else, and I didn't realize until after, and at that time it was kind of too late. So anyways, like I said, I didn't complete my treatment, and it's not because of that. The reason why I didn't continue with the whole procedure is because when I had signed up, I believe for my 4th treatment, unfortunately my specialist, she was sick, so we had to reschedule. But then I also liked to basically have enough days off so that I could give myself some time to recover. After post-treatment, my skin was still irritated, it was still pretty red, and then as time went on, I noticed I was getting a little more scarring, and my face looked slightly darker, and then around my eyes was like my regular skin tone. So it was just kind of weird having to go out, just knowing that I was conscious of that, and I didn't really want people staring at me. So it was just really tricky to find basically a balance of being able to have a certain amount of days off to give myself enough time to recover. So I ended up not being able to reschedule that initial appointment, and then I got sick and I was off of work for some time. So in all honesty, as much as I would have loved to continue, but because everything wasn't really lining up, not to mention this procedure wasn't necessarily the cheapest thing. So for each treatment I was paying $452 Canadian. And with that being said, as much as I enjoyed going and really excited to see what my progress would be, I just figured, you know, it is a lot of money to have to take out of each paycheck, considering I have other expenses and other things to pay for. So I figured, you know what, maybe I would take a break, and like, even though yes, I said I would reschedule, maybe it's something that I can consider maybe in the future. That's kind of why I didn't end up rescheduling my 4th treatment. Would I say that it worked? I mean, yes and no. I feel like if I would have continued doing the treatment for a longer period of time, maybe I really would have seen better results. But overall, I did see a slight difference. Now, I have been working on my skincare routine, which I will be posting. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's why I'm kind of not wearing any makeup today, because I figured, you know, I want to show you guys what my face is currently looking like. Especially when she was going over my scar that I have over here, which is a chickenpox scar, I would say it's still very visible. Now the thing is, I ended up having 2 different specialists. One of them was like a full-time one that she's been at the clinic for a long period of time, but then she also has her own practice, so she's only really there maybe like twice for the month. So the 2 times that I had her, she was amazing, and it was actually really hard to get a treatment with her. Then I got someone that was newer, so she didn't really do the same techniques as the original person did. So She didn't necessarily focus on this scar as much, but overall I would say I still did notice a slight difference with my skin. Now the biggest thing that I noticed is whenever I did have any breakouts and any like fresh scars, I noticed that they faded a lot faster versus with the deeper scars that I was really hoping to treat. I did notice that, like, you know, the first few days, yes, my skin was very plumped and those scars definitely didn't seem as deep. As my recovery went on, I did notice like, okay, they're starting to show back because my face isn't as swollen or isn't as like puffy. So I would say like, yes, my deeper scars slightly have gone away, but they're still visible. I feel like I can still do some other treatments to potentially work at them. So would I say microneedling is worth it, or if it's something I would recommend? So this is how I will basically put it. If it's something that you can afford, I would definitely say try it out and see how it works for you. Luckily, you don't necessarily have to do a bunch of treatments. Some people might notice some results within the first treatment, maybe even the second, because their scars might not be as deep. But if you do have deeper scars, just keep in mind that it might not necessarily do exactly what you want. I've seen people with more severe acne scars, and I feel like if mine didn't necessarily go away, maybe this is not the treatment for you. You might need something that's a little more abrasive, maybe thinking of like laser treatment, or maybe even like Botox, or just filler, something that can really fill in those deep scar tissues. But if it's something that you know, just have like surface level scars, or even if you have hyperpigmentation, this is definitely something that can work for you. I would also like to say, do your research, make sure it's somewhere you're going that you can like trust, or that is reliable, or you've seen other people's results. Don't just go and pick any old spot just because you've seen it for a good price, because just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna work. So if you guys have any comments or questions, of course leave it down below in case there is anything that I missed. But overall, I would say, you know, the whole experience as a whole, I'm happy that I did do it. Despite me not necessarily getting the results that I would have loved to have, I feel like it still was something nice to do. I learned a lot about my skin. I learned some new techniques and certain facials to potentially do just to help clean out my pores, just to avoid breakouts. And if you are interested in finding out more about microneedling, I will definitely leave some links down below, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye.